Things might get weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to our life.
Welcome back to another episode of the Hewlett House podcast. How's my radio voice today?
It was actually really good.
You're welcome.
You've done better, but that one was actually really good too.
There's a joke that Shane Gillis tells on his recent... just go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's hilarious. It's mature audience only, but it's freaking funny.
About his radio voice?
He talks about how back before... before baseball had black players in it, they had these, and they had this really like different way of talking.
Yeah.
And oh boy, who was the first black player to play? They made a movie after him.
Robinson. What's his?
Jackie Robinson.
Robinson.
Good job.
Thanks.
Thanks for being anti-racist on this podcast.
I got you.
And he's like, as soon as he got up and hit a home run, the voices changed. They just, okay, well now here we are, and it was just anyway. You have to see it, I guess.
I guess.
But his special is. I think he's funny anyway, but
I wouldn't know. The voices change.
He said you can actually go in and listen to it, and you can hear their voice change. I guess there's a clip.
That's weird.
But
that's funny.
He does the voices a lot better than me. I'll practice, and I can do them later.
We hear Hayden practicing while he's getting ready in the mornings.
Racist baseball voices.
Oh my gosh.
Way to go.
You would.
Anyway. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you about my outfit today.
Looks fantastic.
I am comfortable.
Good.
I'm really comfortable. But I have gym shorts on.
Yeah.
And a hoodie.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
For what?
Casual Sundays.
Yes.
And to go to the store and say hi to people.
Sure.
All right. Just checking. I'm not
glad
embarrassing
we worked
us.
through that. I'm glad
it feels weird, but it's so comfortable. I'm just kind of thinking that I like this jam. And it's that time of year, Utah's weather, we know, changes 40 degrees in a day.
Yeah. So
in the morning, I can stay comfortable all day.
All day. I know. I've been wearing the shorts with the sweatshirt this week too.
Don't embarrass our family.
Because it's so comfortable.
Only I can do this.
I just don't want anything to touch me. And so the baggier, oversized sweatshirt.
Yeah, I can tell you. I know you don't want.
You know what I mean?
You just don't want anyone or anything touching you. This is where we're at.
Listen,
this is what 16 years of marriage does to you guys. Okay,
leave me nothing alone. To do with the 4 kids.
Leave me alone.
Being pregnant is the worst. When you're pregnant, you literally don't because something is always touching you,
right?
And everything is always so tight on you, all the clothes, Yeah. So you never feel like you're not touched. Can you appreciate that?
I've never been pregnant.
But listen, but I'm saying can you imagine being
No, it looks painful. It looks awful. The whole cycle of it all. I'm sorry that you have to go through that, but what a blessing and how great is it?
I know.
And you're welcome.
They're the best.
By the way, I know. I did that.
I got you. Boo.
Well, I probably did most of it. They're probably mostly mine.
They probably all look just like you, so whatever.
Not really. Jack looks like you.
Your blonde hair, I never had even close to that blonde of hair.
It's true.
Everybody literally always says too. Yeah. He looks just like a little mini Hayden. It's such a trip.
Yeah.
Your aunts or whatever will watch him running out in the backyard or something.
Yeah, when I was his age, maybe just younger, from about the time I was born till about 10 or 12, I had white blonde hair.
White.
And even in high school when we worked outside and everything, my hair would get sun bleached.
Yeah.
And people thought, I remember one kid accusing me of bleaching my hair. And I was naturally that cool. I'm like, I am naturally this cool, dude.
I don't even have to freaking bleach it.
All the puka shell necklaces are coming back. Everything.
I know.
I was even telling
you did end up bleaching it one time. I remember you bleaching it before.
Yeah, I bleached my chin hair.
Oh my gosh, your chin hair.
And Sandy, my stepmom does hair, and so one time she colored it brown, or it was almost came out there was a purple tint in it. I was super gay looking dude, but it was cool. Back then it was fine. Nobody hated on me.
Yeah.
Probably should have got bullied more than I did, to be honest, but whatever. I'm sure I did put some highlights in it at some point. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I never permed it.
No?
No, I never permed my hair.
Not even once.
Nope.
I permed my hair.
These curls are natural.
I know. I'm jealous. But the dark, I mean, it's going dark the longer or the older you get, too. It's crazy.
And Maddie pointed out that it's going a little bit gray.
Is it?
Or Jack. He said my facial hair,
I
don't let it go very long. But he's like, you got a little gray in your face. And then I hit him as hard as I could.
You said that last podcast. People are going to really start thinking you hit your children.
I should hit him.
But he doesn't, for the record.
Sometimes I'll give him a thump on the head or an ear pull.
Yeah, that's not.
I did spank Taff the other day. I spanked our kids.
Good job. Why'd you spank him?
Good. Oh, probably for not listening or something. Or lying. He lied.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was. I gave him a swat. It was open-handed. Police told me when I was in high school that was fine. Laws may have changed, so should go read up on that. Our kids don't get hit that much, though. For as much as we talk about it, I should hit them more just to justify how much we talk about
this?
it. No, I like this.
Are
This is
get
good so
CPS
far.
called on you.
Whatever. Come over. Come on by.
We'll feed you.
Yeah, might be helpful.
Oh my gosh, you're a dork.
Yeah.
And you never leave marks, so.
That's just on you.
You leave marks.
Now this is taking it. Okay. I'm gonna get hate mail.
All right, we're done. Okay, so update, babe. Oh wait, let's do good news.
Hey, do it. We found a good news.
No, you
today.
do it.
All right, fine, I will.
You found it.
Let me just start and hear me out here. Don't turn this off if you're listening this far in. Tourette's syndrome. Is funny. It doesn't matter if, and I think I don't have Tourette's syndrome, but my eyes, when I'm trying to read something, especially far away, they'll twitch they kind of do this twitchy thing, and I can't stop it. It just happens. So I wonder if and I've had that since I was younger. I think I might have a little bit of the Tourette's.
A little ritzy.
And definitely stuff comes out of my mouth and people would think that I have Tourette's. That's
more so than the eye movement.
That's all natural.
People worry about that one more.
And it's sad, obviously. It's sad when people have Tourette's, but also you have to be able to laugh about it because it is Tourette's syndrome on its own is pretty funny. And the people that make the videos and they laugh at themselves, that's a good healing way.
Babe, they laugh so that other people don't laugh at them.
And
if
they
I laugh
probably
at myself,
see the humor in it.
It's like Fat Amy. I call myself fat so that skinny kids like you don't do it behind my back or something. It's like that.
Don't try to take away from people with Tourette's.
Keep going.
Here, okay.
You don't try and take away.
I'm just
from
saying,
people
in general,
Tourette's.
if
coping mechanism.
Yeah, like people yelling out. I had a cousin that
Sometimes
told me
it could
that
be
someone
funny.
at church would swear at church, and another one of my buddies said someone in the temple yelled out shit or something once, and I'm like, and he's like, dude, it was so funny, and I'm like, that is funny. So in general, it's funny, but the good news is, Louis Capaldi, shout out to him. That dude has a freaking killer voice. I think
amazing.
And
I never knew what he looked like until you sent me this video.
I didn't either. But we saw this video of him singing, and I think I was reading some of the comments, and they were all really nice. I thought it was cool. But he was singing, and someone said that, 90 minutes in, Under the Warm Lights, where he sings a song towards the end, is probably where his tics start to ramp up a little bit, and he can't control them as much. And I thought, that makes sense. And I can't remember the song he was singing. You can look it up, but Louis Capaldi twitching during concert, or having tics or Tourette's, it'll pop up. And he was crushing the song, doing awesome. His voice is amazing. And then he started kind of getting the tics, and he had to stop, and the entire audience was singing along with him and just filled in.
Just finished the song for him.
Yeah, and it was just kind of this warm, fuzzy.
Mm-hmm. It's sweet.
For just people being awesome, good fans. Yeah. And can you imagine singing in front of a crowd? It's looked like tens of thousands of people there at the concert, and he's just up there singing and working through that.
The cool thing is that
freaking pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it, is that it didn't hold him back, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people could have that and be like, I can't perform because at this point nobody's gonna want to watch me because whatever, I'm gonna have these tics and then they're all just make fun of me or blah blah blah. No, it didn't stop him, and here he is, and amazing.
My teacher yelled at me and I pissed in my pants.
Oh my gosh.
Talladega Nights was on in our house
Speaking
recently.
of.
I would pee my pants. That's what I'm getting at. If I had to stand and sing in front of that many people, I would just
full circle here.
I would lose full bowel movement and
probably
control, and it would just be a mess. It'd be a messy stage.
You'd probably be fine.
And I'd probably have a tick or two show up.
Yeah.
Tick or two?
Tick or two?
Careful how you say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
I thought
there's some
that was
good news
really
for
cool.
you.
So thanks for sharing that. That
Thank
was
you.
cute.
You're so cute.
Aw. Thanks.
Thank you. Tell us about your week.
Well, I've been using my planner.
Oh yeah. Did we talk about this last week?
Probably.
Your
but I'm
6
gonna
month
use
planner.
it.
Your 6 month planner.
I'm determined. I used it today.
Sounded like you were going to say I'm depressed.
Probably that too.
Does your planner make you depressed?
A little bit. It's a lot of work.
How often do you check your planner?
Well,
be honest.
Depends on the day.
This week, how many times did you look at it?
I usually try and look at it daily.
You try, but how many times do you actually look at it? You're using it.
I'm using it because what it does is it like blocks everything, or it shows me everything, and then I'll use it to say, okay, this is what we're having for dinner, like down to like what we're planning for dinner, what's going on in the day, extra activities. It helps me be mindful of like making time for certain things, and like when I have downtime, I'll look at it like, okay, what else needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
Where as a mom or a stay-at-home mom mom in general, person in general, we have a whole like laundry list of things that we're like, oh, I got to do that. I need to do that. I need to do that. Well, here I can like write them all down. And then when I have a break, I can be like, oh, this needed to be done.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to just keeping it in my head, because then nothing gets done.
The 80-20 rule, focus on the 20%, get it all in there, calendar all that shiznit, and then you can do the other tasks as you have time.
Yeah, because it has like a weekly checklist that you can go back to and do that, and you can plug them into each day if you want, or you know what I mean.
There's the president at KW, or the CEO. He's a stud. He's really good at this type of stuff, and I may have shared this already, but I'll hear at times his alarm going off in his office. He has like a Google machine, whatever they're called. Echo or whatever.
Google Home.
Something like that. And it'll just beep. And he told me I have so many things in the day that I have to get done. Yeah. And so he's like, I'll just set a timer and work on one thing as much as I can. And then when the alarm goes off, I go to the next thing. Yeah. Wow. Whatever works for you, man.
You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's nice because it does block it down. So it's like in my morning, and I get to choose what the time blocks are. So it's like I can fill it in if this week is even crazier, so I could switch up what the time is. It's very personal to me and my schedule and what I need to do.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Way to be accountable.
Listen.
Way to get that calendar on the move.
Working on it. I think it does make me more productive, though, because I can see, okay, now we do this, now we do this, now we do this.
Good job.
So,
well,
it's good.
Good work.
Thanks.
Even if it's to get back at me for talking shit about you.
Yeah, it's all revenge. It's like, I'll show you.
You're revenge planning right now, dude.
Totally.
Literally.
Absolutely.
You're literally revenge planning.
Absolutely, I am.
This is the healthy
You
kind.
You watch. Just wait.
You are doing so good. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. But I really will make it.
Shaking my hand.
Well, I'll make it. Awesome. Whole 6 months. I'm going to use it.
Sweet.
Thanks.
And then if you do, maybe for Christmas, your big gift can be a planner.
Thank you.
Every major holiday, I'm just going to buy you
a new planner.
Yeah.
I remember when you used to get the
Franklin
Covey ones, and they were like $100 for the fills.
For the whole year.
Okay, still more expensive than mine.
Wasn't yours $60?
No.
How much was it?
6 months, $30.
Whoo! That's like a buy one get one free on the month compared to Franklin Covey. Good job.
Yeah, I win.
Does yours have inspirational quotes in it?
I can put them in there if I want.
Mine were already in there. Daily.
You're so much cooler than me.
Thank you.
That's really where we needed to get to end this conversation.
No, good job.
I'm just kidding. Well, what else? This week, babe, what have we kind of went down some rabbit holes this week with some documentaries and
yes, we did.
Stuff. Actually, let's talk about inflation first, just for a hot minute, because the other day Hayden texted me and he was like, "Hey, what'd you get at Costco? $300 at Costco. And I said, literally, meat, cheese. Did we already say this? I feel like I've had this conversation
I think
a lot.
we may have talked about it, but
But
whatever whatever we're being told inflation is really at, it's way higher. If you go to the grocery store, you know this. And I just want to validate anybody that feels the same way as us, and if you don't, I'm sorry. But Costco runs for us used to be $200-$300, and now it's not uncommon for them to be like $400 or $500.
And that, yeah.
We try to keep it down, but yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
let's just say I'm glad we got the city credit card because our rewards is looking pretty good right
now. I know,
embarrassingly.
Right?
Yeah,
we get percentage back. I did get. Oh, we need to take that with us. I did get the like yearly thing check.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, for our renewal.
For the renewal stuff.
How much was it?
It actually wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. I was a little disappointed.
You were?
Yeah, it was like $400.
Holy cow! Has it ever been that high?
Yes, we've gotten like a $600 one time. But
oh, that was the year we bought couches, and
I think we also did a vacation on it too.
I've never done a vacation through Costco.
No.
Oh, on the.
Oh wait, no, you're right. But we were also doing like diapers and wipes and all that stuff. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, but there was also, yeah.
Anyway,
Good job. All right.
Anyway,
so we have a $400 check we can go.
It's
blow
like
in
three.
One day.
I don't know, between $350 and $400. I can't remember.
So it's under $400.
Yes.
That is kind of disappointing.
Right.
But good job. Plus the rewards we get from our credit card, as long as we continue to pay it off and don't pay interest. And they offered us like a 5% rate for a year and a half or something, just barely, which I haven't told you, but don't carry a balance. We'll carry that somewhere else. Just for now.
Do what you gotta do.
Just for now.
Gotta live.
Yeah.
Well, I keep hearing, I don't know, I don't have any credible source. This is just hearsay, but people keep saying stuff like, yeah, we're like in the Great Depression type situation where we're almost worse off. Like inflation is worse off than when it was then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize, well, I think people do. We just kind of live our lives, which is probably what we should do too. But, yeah, I don't think we've seen, I was watching a thing yesterday or Friday at work that home sales man, I'm going to butcher this. I should go watch it again before I see it. It was something like, we haven't seen this type of market since like 1996.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And they're talking about raising rates again. We'll see what they do. But I had an argument with a buddy of mine that does lending.
Yeah.
And if you look at the national number, somehow, some way, they're saying that overall real estate has gone up 6 or 7%, or that's where they're anticipating for the year. With rates jumping, prices on homes are being pressured down. Oddly enough, it's just such a weird market. It is so weird because homes are still selling. Some of them are still selling fast. Some of them are still selling in a bidding war. But it really just depends on the type of home, the location. Some of these somebody was telling me recently that there was a $1 or $2 million home or more for sale, and somebody went in and just did a crazy offer above, and there was a multiple offer situation. So I think that stuff.
So it's still like a seller's market.
It still is a seller's market, but prices, and pick wherever you want in the area, and I'll run comps for you and show you this. Prices are down from where they were a year and a half ago. In our area, easily 20%. Easily.
But interest is way up, though.
But interest is way up. So what's going to happen is if there is demand, it's out there.
Yeah.
When rates start to come back down.
At least here in Utah.
Yes. When rates start to come back down, home values are going to rise again.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as, buying, can you afford the payment and hopefully rates will come back down in the 5% range in the next year or two, then your home value will increase and you could probably refi and get a better payment, all that good stuff. But
yeah,
everything's just weird right now and crazy.
I just
politics, so fun.
I just want to go to like Costco and get the necessities and not have to sell
and not get yelled at by your husband.
No, you didn't yell at me earlier. But I think we had already gone to Costco before. Earlier, like within the week, and so you're like, wait, another $300, and I'm like,
here's a fun.
We needed meat and we needed fresh fruit. Like,
I have a fun update. I have a really fun update. You're gonna love this one.
With that intro, I'm sure I will.
You're so excited.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly where you're going.
And you shouldn't be, because this is sweet Jessica got her first ever. How old are you? Almost 40. Let's call you almost 40. It sounds so good.
It sounds so much
37-year-old Jessica.
That's true.
Got her very first ever speeding ticket yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. There's a sheriff that lives around the corner from us, right around the corner, within a block and a half from here.
2.
And I did him a solid. He had to know. I think it was it was because of me that he wrote you down to 5 over. Speeder.
Why is it? Why? What did you?
I hooked him up one day and told him that his lights were on in the back.
Oh, it was him.
It was him. That's why I asked. You should have said, "You probably remember this car because my husband very nicely told you. I told you this in the car the other day."
You did tell me. I didn't.
And you
know
didn't
it was
even
him.
think about it.
I didn't know it was him.
I said, "Is he the redheaded guy?"
Yeah.
That drive the sheriff car, and you're like, "Yes," and I'm like, "Speak to him," but I couldn't coach you through it. And at first, when Maddie sent me the text that you got pulled over, I thought she was joking. But the girls were begging because we went to sushi last night.
On a date to go get sushi, and only Gwenny and Maddie were home.
And we were gonna be late. I just said, if you can hustle to Stokes and get some cheap sushi and run back with them, go ahead. And I kept telling him no, but I was like, I was thinking maybe I'll just run him over there real quick. I thought I would just jump in the car and take him and bring him back. Well,
and Maddie was like, I'll drive. And I was like, no, I'll drive because we got to be fast. I should have had her drive.
You did a 42 and a 25
don't
in our neighborhood.
Everybody.
And you get mad at everybody else that speeds around here.
I know. I told him that too. I was like, I feel so bad because there were kids. There were 2 sets of kids outside playing, like where you were going.
Some of them were probably his own kids.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I started to get teared up, and I was like, I didn't cry. Don't worry,
should
I
have.
didn't cry.
This is where you got to bring on the tears. Damn it.
Should have, dang it.
How do I this is your first time. You'll learn. You'll get better at this.
I think the last time that I even got pulled over for speeding was in college.
Let's not talk about that. We're talking about your speeding ticket
here and now.
Yes.
So, but he does come back and he's all, do you know that your registration is expired? And I was like,
hold on. Don't put this on me.
And then he's like, do you know that? And I went to give him the proof of insurance. That needs to be updated.
I'm getting there. You're jumping ahead. So she gets in the car to run the girls to go grab sushi at the grocery store here. Doesn't make it a block and a half. I'm telling her we have to leave at 5 or right after in order to make it to our date on time.
Which is why I was trying to hurry.
She gets pulled over, and the girls are begging. They get pulled over. Then he tells you that your registration and insurance card is expired. I actually thought about the insurance thing. Like in the past, I swear the past couple weeks, I'm like, I probably should update this.
But it should have. Anyway,
I just need to print one off from our insurance provider.
Oh, yeah.
But what's funny is I actually registered it as soon as I got the thing in the mail. Yeah. But I also ordered new plates, like custom plates for it. And so I did it back in like early August, and this stuff still hasn't arrived. So I was like, he should be able to look up in his system that maybe not, but that I paid for that, and I'm just waiting for it to come. Insurance card was my bad. So you're 17 over plus my insurance. He wrote you down to 5 over.
He's like, I'm really helping you out here. And I'm like, I appreciate it. And Maddie's like, you think I'll let you off? I was like, I deserve it. I deserved it. That was much. And I'm not, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to make excuses, but
you are.
Your car is different than my car. It feels like we're going a different speed than the speed in my car.
Yeah.
So
it's fun.
Anyway, but yes, that happened.
Good job. I'm proud of you, actually.
Thank you.
I'm not even mad about it. What I am mad about is
that I didn't cry to get out of it.
Well, there's part of that too. I ran a yellow light on our way to our date, and Jess is backseat driving.
Oh yeah.
You are one of the worst backseat drivers ever.
You're welcome. I think all men feel like that's the case with their wife.
And I'm like, you just got a ticket. You don't get to tell me how to drive right now. And I probably did 90 all the way to the
But it was one of those.
It was fine.
It was one of those that you're looking at the person that's waiting to turn, and they're like,
I know.
Are you coming? Bad. Maybe I'll go because I don't think that you're going to go.
I know. I was
because it's really far.
Sometimes I do this, and it's one of my pet peeves in driving too.
But I'm in trouble because I even said something.
I'm such a hypocrite. If you want me to admit it,
it happens, babe. Happens to the best of us.
The other day we were going to lunch with some friends. I hope I haven't told the story already. And one of the younger kids in the car, he's like, someone flipped me off yesterday on the freeway, and I was going like 75. And me and Johnny both asked him like at the exact same time, were you in the fast lane?
Was he?
Yes. And he's like, but dude, I was going to 75. And I'm like, It doesn't matter, dude. If you're going slow and if traffic behind you is piling up and you're in the fast lane, move your A over.
Yeah.
Move
It's
over.
for passing.
Get out of the way.
It's the passing lane.
It's the fast lane.
Not the fast lane. It's
there
the
you go.
passing lane.
That is correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being.
I got a 98% on my driver's test. I know these things.
I believe you. You are a good driver. I would say I'm okay.
How many tickets have you got? Let's just for fun. Do you know?
In my entire life?
Yeah.
90% of them were in high school.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Since we've been married, you probably had like 4
That sounds
or
about
5.
right. Yeah. The worst one I ever got was in California.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And what's so dumb is I took the cheaper flight to fly into a cheaper airport. But then I had to drive like an hour and a half back then. We were going to a Dodgers-Ravens football game with some family.
Yeah.
And I flew in from work. I was in Florida, then I flew straight to California. Mm-hmm. And it was probably 10 o'clock at night, and they gave me the Chevy Impala, and I was actually kind of surprised how fast it was.
Yeah.
And he caught me on the down tick, and I think I was doing 90-something. And they wanted me to fly out to California to like a 10 court. And I'm like, I can't make it. Can I just pay the ticket? And then they just let me pay the ticket. I think it was like $500 ticket.
That one was fun.
That was a good
when we
one.
had no money.
That was all right back then.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I'd rather not pay the $500 ticket.
Yeah.
I would have just been better off flying into the closer airport, taking a taxi over, and would have probably saved a couple $100 and the drive.
Yeah.
Just like you didn't even make it to your sushi last night.
I didn't. I was like,
drove down, got a
like,
ticket, turned around, and
he's
came
like,
back.
He says at the end, he's like, okay, well, be safe going to get your sushi. I said, oh yeah, no, that's over. I'm gonna have to give him an IOU. And he's like, oh, okay.
And then you cried when it was too late.
No, I told him. Well, I did tell him. I was like, when you told me there were kids, I'm like, I got all teared up. I almost cried. And he's like, don't cry. I'm like, I live on a road that people do that all the time too. So I know how annoying it is and how frustrating it is. And I'm here and I did it. Like,
yeah,
being
it's
a
the road
hypocrite,
right
you know
behind
what I mean?
you. You turned off of his street where he pulled you over.
Right.
Oh, you're the guy right there?
Correct.
I know where you live, mister.
I did that. Anyway,
Bless the police.
like I said, I deserved it, but whatever.
We support you, policeman.
We do.
All right. Well,
thanks.
Surgery this week. I'm going in for hernia surgery.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get that done. I've still been lifting heavy weights because I'm just going to blow. And for me, heavy weights. I'm just blow it all out, go get it fixed.
You're almost back to your max.
Yeah.
What do you mean heavy?
And now I have to go get surgery.
You're all heavy.
I benched 300 pounds this week. So cool.
Nailed it.
It's really not that much,
My
but
husband's
for
so
some
strong.
people, it's cool.
Last time I tried, I don't like do that kind of workout. Last time I tried was probably, I don't know, high school.
You maxed out?
The bar.
Dude, getting it. I remember the first time I ever bench pressed with some friends at junior high. They put on 135. I was in 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got this. There's all these girls around. I thought it'd be so cool. I picked up the bar and I went down and it squished me.
Oh.
People were like, oh my gosh. Everybody's freaking out because I'm like, I was probably really close to breaking all my ribs. It just smashed me.
Ow.
And I'm like, I'm not as cool as I want to be. So maybe that's why I try to be so strong so I can just make up for that trauma at 7th grade party.
Baby.
Still mad about that.
Baby, it's a thing. It's a thing. Let it go. Let it go.
Such is my life, I guess. Anyway. I got to go to the bathroom so bad right now.
Okay.
Should we end this or should we talk about the documentary we talked about that we watched? We watched some cray.
We'll just do quicker than we thought we were going to. You ready?
And maybe we can talk about it more later too, but yeah. Go for it.
We kind of went down this rabbit hole with the whole what was their names?
Paul Steed, I think was his name that was on.
No.
Oh, what?
Because what was the
what
was
Ruby,
his therapist?
Passengers.
Yeah.
Jody.
The thing that you'll learn about me is I don't take information that isn't pertinent.
Jody Hildebrandt.
Yes. So I know I could tell you the story. I can't tell you the details. Even when I'm reading a book, I can't tell you the name of the characters, but when I read the name, I know who we're talking about. I I don't know why my brain works that way. But anyway, so we heard about that story and with that crazy therapist too.
And now more stories seem to be coming out about that therapist and how she ruined other people's lives, and she's in jail.
Yeah.
The Ruby lady's in jail. And then this guy was like, yeah, she ruined my life too.
And told his story on Mormon Stories.
It's like a 5.5 or something, 5 or 6 hour podcast that he did, and he told this whole story, and it was just like, it got crazier and crazier and crazier as it went, and you're just like, holy freaking crap.
And we all know that, like, this is his side of the story, right? Like, I'm sure there's always other sides. I mean, we know there's other people's side of the story too, but it seemed pretty traumatic. Yeah. Big time. The poor guy. So,
she was working with people that had real issues and real addictions, but then she was, what is it, like grandizing
the problem and
his problem, and then separating the men and the women in the therapy, in the group therapy, and then he felt like she was telling his wife stuff about him that wasn't true, and then making him out to look like the bad guy. And he's like, at first the therapy was really good for us, and then it turned into something that my wife just started to like hate me and despise me and didn't trust me, and it turned into this whole mind game. And clearly, if half of what he says is true, this Jody Hildebrandt lady is a freaking sociopath, crazy lady.
Well, and I was telling Hayden, I wonder if it's I don't either, but from what he was explaining in the story on his side of the story, I kind of got the impression that she is like this narcissist.
Yeah,
if that's fair.
Truly,
that needs the validation and the power, and she found that if she can manipulate these wives into, maybe she had like, because she was a narcissist, she wanted to be more powerful than men, and so she had this like vendetta against men.
It almost feels
that
way.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, the thing, like how I took it and I don't know, what I saw in his story of it seemed that was more probably the case than anything, and that she just craved this power and to be the one, because he was even saying she would say, if you go to another therapist, you know.
Yeah, she got in the way of him going to other. He was seeing another therapist, and then she got her foot in there and said, "You're not allowed to see other." Somehow got him so he couldn't see that therapist.
Well, because it was
at BYU
like,
or something.
Yeah. Well, it was more
wild.
like his wife. She would pin the wife against him. Yeah. So it's like, if he goes to another therapist, they don't know everything, and he's going to be lying.
He's giving into his addiction. This is his addiction talking, and his addiction was.
So it was like,
not even.
You mean like getting a second opinion?
Yeah, exactly. You know? Super threatened by it.
So anyway, it was crazy. It was really sad, and anyway, but he also had been abused at camp.
At a scout camp.
And so he tells that story and that. So that led us to like the Netflix documentary.
And he ties like the scout camp thing, that ties into to the whole of the story, which is what makes it crazier.
Yeah, that's true.
Watch it or listen. If you're super LDS, I wouldn't get in very much to Mormon story stuff. One of my friends calls him like a what does he call him? Post-Mormon panhandler, I think is the term he uses. He makes like a couple $100,000 a year running his nonprofit through Mormon Stories, through people that just donate money to his thing. And he's very transparent with it all, but I think he likes the idea. I don't know you, John DeLynn, if you ever hear this, but it seems like he really likes being the part of a cause, and he's not afraid to stir the pot. But there's been a lot of good and bad that I think has come from that. I'm not like this crazy great fan of all of his work, but he's had some really great conversations and interviews on there that are pretty awesome. But that one is one that's just interesting if you're...
I think he does manipulate the conversation a little bit too.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't love... he kind of like asks him, well, does this make you feel this way? Or does this, you know what I mean? He'll say certain stuff like that where I think he manipulates the conversation. So that's why I'm saying this is this guy's part of the story. And we heard it on the Mormon Stories, just mainly because we're curious about the first the first story, and then we got into another story that tied into the first story, and then we got into another story that tied it. Anyway,
Yeah,
wormhole.
we went down the rabbit hole this week.
So
Super interesting.
Anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And what's cool, at least that guy's starting to feel validated and feel like, I don't know, karma's finally coming back around.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one. And I wouldn't be surprised if that story goes super national and they start making documentaries about it, because that is wild.
Well, and they even had, I didn't listen to this one yet, on the Mormon stories again,
Jody.
the niece. They had the niece on of Jody, and
that therapist.
Yeah. And I hear that one's just as crazy.
Maybe we should listen to that one next.
Okay.
On our Costco run.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds fun. I think it's like another 4-hour one, so it's going to be longer than the Costco run.
Dang it.
Maybe that's why we spend so much money at Costco. The longer you're there,
the more you can listen to. And I'm probably going to get hungry
I know. So
by the time I get there, so we should probably go.
Anyway.
We should probably go anyway.
But if you want a wormhole, it was definitely one. But do it in caution.
And
the caution.
As I was listening to one of the other podcasts, I'm like, why am I listening to this stupid story about this dumb lady in southern Utah that has a stupid YouTube channel?
I'd never heard of her before.
And how she's crazy. Like what? And then where it got interesting was, I didn't listen to all of that. There was another separate one, but this guy's story was wild. And then how it tied into, and listen, just to be clear, I actually had a great scouting experience.
Oh yeah,
because there was scout, and it was like my scouting experience was awesome. But I get that not everybody has the same experience, and this guy's story is pretty freaking wild. And so how it just ties into everything, I think that, I don't know, it made me think for the first time that, maybe not the first time, but it made me wonder that, you know, that the Catholics went through all this stuff with all the pedophilia and all the issues, that they may try to turn this on the church more and more.
Like that.
Yeah. Just because the church was probably, if not the biggest sponsor, one of the biggest supporters, I guess, of Boy Scouts, right?
Yeah. And I mean, for all the bad stories, how many good stories are there, you know, of experiences people have had there? I get it. And it was like definitely, there's definitely like trauma that happened there too, right?
Yeah.
And some of the stories that were told in that, and it doesn't make you feel good. So
yeah, it's a little
like
wild,
by the end, I was like, yeah, no, I'm like,
trigger warnings all
for
throughout
sure.
This, yeah.
I think they saved like the worst stuff for the end, and that stuff was sad, like so sad, heartbreaking.
Yeah. Wait, on the Scouts Honor
Netflix
on the
Scouts Honor one.
Yeah.
But I know of a lot of people that had amazing experiences there and have taught them like amazing life lessons, and it just sucks that like in this world you have to have the good with the bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that there is always that, and we just hope that some of the lessons that are learned, like that they're learned, and that we can learn from them and do better.
Yep. Yeah. Man, it's messy. We don't have the time to go through it all right now, but yeah. We maybe talk more about it later.
Anyway, that was our wormhole this week.
Wormhole Wednesday.
Oh, but it comes out on Tuesday.
All right. Is that the day we listened to it? Wednesday?
I can't remember what day. Oh, we listened to the wormhole on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're going.
That's what I did.
I'm here for
That's what I did. Anyway, thank you.
Well, thanks for those. I mean, if anything, it was an adventure this week, so thanks for that.
Yeah.
Adventure.
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking, you were talking about making dinners in your planner and everything. I had the thought, because one of our friends posted on Facebook that with football this year going on right now, you either eat dinner at 4:30 or at 9 or 8 or something.
It's like, when do you want dinner?
Yeah.
4:30 or 9? And so I have been. I have been trying to make dinners so that you could eat before.
You're so wonderful.
Or around later, if anybody's around later and not hungry yet.
Yep.
So I've been trying to pull the children too, because it's kind of one of those things where it's like such a mental load. I hate making dinners, and I was telling them too. I like, some of us want to eat healthier than others, but when I try and make a healthy meal, sometimes it just doesn't taste good. And so then we don't eat it anyway.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's a balance. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'll try and make what they want a little healthier by like having like the add-in mindset, as opposed to taking out the food that they actually will eat, if you will.
Yeah.
We're just going to add more fruits and veggies or
there you go.
Try to healthify it that way. So
Healthify.
Is that a word?
I like that name for this podcast episode.
All right.
Healthify.
Healthify.
Maybe I'll think about it.
Your life.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
I love you.
Love you most.